Never better.
Okay.
Okay.
I did give them bonus checks.
Mr. Starkey, this is, okay.
The stage lights are
They all,
terrible.
yes. Okay. Good morning. It is 7:30 a.m. and I call to order the July 24th, 2025 special called board meeting. The district is in compliance with the South Carolina Freedom of Information Act by notifying the media of the date, time, and place of the meeting. The district tapes the meeting for accuracy in preparing the minutes. I now yield the floor to Mr. Nick Pizzuti.
Madam Chair, fellow board members, staff, and guests, please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Do I hear a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
Madam Chair, I move we approve the agenda as presented.
Thank you, Ms. Shealy. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Rice. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion carries. During the July 14th board meeting, the board discussed the need to amend the motion that the RFP committee used in developing the RFP. Instead of waiting until August 19th meeting to make an amendment and delaying the closing of the RFP submissions, the committee will present an overview of their developments and the decision to narrow the scope of work, which leads to the amended motion. Do I hear a motion to amend the March 25th, 2025 motion? Well, I think I'll turn it over to you first, and then you can explain, and then we'll get a motion on the table.
Yep.
All right.
All right, so first of all, I want to thank Dr. Price and his staff for helping me put together a kind of a brief synopsis. And when I get through, Chris, if you got anything you want to add or join in, please feel free to. But over the course of the committee meetings, we've been meeting since April 30th. Ms. Franklin had led us through various types of RFPs to include a release of an RFI and a discussion of an RFQ. As these meetings progressed, it became necessary for the committee to be more specific in the scope of work and desired outcomes in order to get qualified vendors who understood the specifics of the project and could submit appropriate proposals. At the July 9th meeting, we walked through each project that was included in the motion approved by the board to consider in the RFP so as to determine what exactly the committee was seeking to be addressed with each project. So here's a brief synopsis of each. The transportation facility. Concerns include the project scope changing significantly from an initial $3 million bid to a $10 million project. The committee wants to vet protocols for rebidding after significant scope changes and for exceeding approved budgets. The board seeks board policy review for procedural alignment. Southlake Elementary. The main concern is the nearly 4-year delay between property purchase and construction, December 19 to approximately 2023, which led to a cost escalation from an anticipated $37 million to $55 million. The committee seeks to understand protocols for project execution timelines from land purchases to facility construction and how inflation is accounted for in delayed projects. The board seeks regular board updates on project process. Lakeside Middle School. Concerns revolved around the failure of a contingent land purchase for a second property, resulting in the school being built on a smaller 35.5 acre lot requiring additional unexpected site prep and road work. The committee wants to examine procedures for land purchasing and initial due diligence on site work requirements. The size of the facility relative to its acreage was also a significant concern. The Gilbert Elementary project, Centerville, New Gilbert Elementary, Gilbert Primary, whichever one you want to call it. Discussion clarified that the concern was primarily about new schools and potential issues with initial capacity planning. This will be addressed by the scope element on establishing minimum size standards for land purchase and school size. Unfinished projects. Pillion Middle existing building, unfinished project. A $2 million budget was allocated, but only $10,000 spent, leaving the project stalled and the fund status unclear. The committee seeks clarification on the use of these funds in compliance with the original bond referendum's intent. Other unfinished projects were discussed, specifically furniture and line item technologies, but they were determined they were not to be looked at this time. Desired outcomes and key objectives in the target proposal include clarity and resolution, provide definitive and independent answers to the specific concerns outlined above, increase transparency and understanding, provide verifiable review process and communication plan, actionable recommendations, deliver a set of practical, forward-looking recommendations for board policies, procurement policies, due diligence, and project management that the district can implement. A framework for the future, establish new standards for capital projects, including ideal acreage and facility size, construction timelines, and due diligence checklists. And at this point, Ms. Franklin has two proposed solutions-based RFPs prepared for the board, one using the original motion and a second which only includes this narrower scope. We would like to present a motion today that amends the original motion to move to a more narrow scope of work to align with the description I have provided.
Thank you so much, Mr. Pizzuti. Mr. Rice?
I thought that was quite comprehensive yet concise, so I have nothing to add.
Okay. So then at this time, do I hear a motion to amend the the March 25th, 2025 motion made by the board pertaining to the 2018 bond referendum?
Madam Chair, based upon the 2018 Bond Referendum Audit Committee's report, I move that we revise the list of projects to be included in the 2018 Bond Referendum Audit for the scope of the RFP to specifically include the following projects: the new White Knoll Elementary School, now Southlake Elementary, new Lexington Middle School, now Lakeside Middle School, the transportation facility, and one unfinished project, the old Pillion Middle School site.
Thank you, Mr. Pizzuti. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Rice. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion carries. So, Dr. Price, we have a new motion here that's been approved. What's next?
So Ms. Franklin is ready to move forward with the issuance of the RFP now that it's been approved. And so typically, whenever in our procurement department as RFPs come in, she will coordinate a evaluation team to review all of the submissions, make a decision, and move forward. That normally doesn't require any board action, but this one's kind of special because this one was generated by the board. So there's a few options that the board will need to consider. You don't need to make the decision today. The RFP will close in September, so at our next meeting in August, it will probably be a good idea for the board to give us some direction about which way you would want to go with the decision on the RFP submission. So there are a few ways we could do this. One way is to follow our normal procurement procedures, where Ms. Franklin will assemble a team, they will review and award the bid, and it moves on. Or the board could decide to assign up to 3 board members, similar to the subcommittee that worked on developing the RFP, to serve on the evaluation panel as the submissions come in, that Ms. Franklin could work with those members and any other resident experts that would typically be assembled to review an RFP, and then they could then approve and then move forward, or they could then bring that recommendation back to the board for a whole board approval. So those are things to think about between now and August. And so we'll need to know what is the desire of the board on which option we choose moving forward. So the only sticky thing is Mr. Pizzuti and I talked about this earlier. Mr. Pizzuti, back in June, the board voted to assign Mr. Pizzuti as the board's liaison for the protest panel. So if he is the board's designee for any protests that could come, it would probably be in our best interest for him not to serve on the evaluation team, or probably to participate if we're bringing it back to the board for a whole board vote. Just in case there is a protest, there's no conflict of interest. So things to think about between now and August, and we will need to make the determination of which direction we take at that point.
Okay. Thank you so much. Board, do you have any questions at this time? All right. Well, with that, do I hear a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Madam Chair, I move that we adjourn.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Rice. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries.